Thanks for coming in, guys. So I can hit you with a big question right off the top. Fairly Arrow as a singer, where do you stand on that one?
Well, you might happen to know that we're one member less now, and we're looking for the fourth person, and we saw Fairly last night, and we had a little talk.
And that could be...
Nothing official, nothing official yet.
No, nothing, just unofficial.
And Tim, where is Tim at the moment? He hasn't staged his own...
Come back. No, Tim's at home, actually. In fact, you know, he's probably on the phone if you want to give him a bell at any point.
We might give him a bell.
Yeah, well, he's
I'll
there.
give Tim a bell and we can really annoy the shit out of him.
No, he does go to bed early these days, but I think you probably strike him at home tonight.
Tonight could be the lucky night.
Could be the night,
So
yeah.
what have you guys been up to?
Well, we've been on holiday for the last few weeks, which is not to say that Crowded House are given to, you know, large rest and recreation periods. We work pretty hard.
In fact, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, you've just come back, you've done America, Canada, Japan, the UK, Europe.
No.
Have you been on
done
tour
Japan
at all?
yet. We're
You're going to Japan?
We're going to Japan, yes. But
Yes, we did. No, I did Japan. You guys...
Really?
I did that on my own. I didn't tell you about it.
It was a private tour situation.
Yeah, I can speak Japanese.
A few steam rooms, a few bathhouses, you know.
Yep.
And the and how did the tour go generally?
Oh, extremely well. We actually hardly remember the beginning of the tour now because you know, all the stuff that goes on the road and the bus and that. But you know, no, it was a great tour. I think the end was particularly good, wasn't it?
I think they had a good middle bit, good start, a good end. Yeah, it was a good tour. Good tour. We got the tour profits right here, actually.
Cover. So if I can just ask you,
Tour profits.
thanks. I'll just put that there so that that is show business.
American dollars, worth a lot.
Because there'll be young kids out there who are contemplating getting into the music industry, and I think if they see this as the sort of bickies they can make out of it, you know, doors can be open.
That's right.
Can I just ask you a question? For any young performers, bands who are thinking of going on the road, and they've got to live in an enclosed situation for a long period of time, such as you guys do, any tips?
Tips to contemplate a solo career early on.
Yep.
So you get more room on the bus. There's a lot of intense sort of politics goes on the bus after and before the performances. Steve, being a show business man yourself,
As I am. Yep.
So yeah, we have 3 buses now, and one driver. So it takes a long time for the guy to come back.
He goes back and picks up the other bus. Yeah.
So some gigs we don't make it, some of us do, you know.
Yeah.
So
or you perform in various stages of the band.
Yes, we've had a few good solo performances over the years. Nick's recitals and bass guitar were particularly noteworthy last year.
Yeah, Nick's doing his jazz thing again, you know, with the bass.
If I can, you get to know each other pretty well. Paul, can I ask you the qualities of the other two that really shit you, if I can? I mean, without pulling any punches here.
Okay, let's say Neil's probably the hardest working man in show business.
Right.
And Nick and I are probably the laziest bastards in show business. So right there's a problem. Neil's always early, wondering where we are. Nick is Nick's big on rhetoric. He likes going rollerblading without knowing where he's going or where he came from. And we do lose Nick on the odd occasion. And he likes to encourage the fans to come onto the buses. And we've had a few occasions where there's been a few strange little girlies on the bus, Nick.
You've opened up an interesting area. I think most people are interested in this. Groupies, followers, supporters. Do you get a lot of these, presumably?
Oh, hundreds, yeah. Far more than INXS and Midnight Oil.
Yes. Yeah. We just discovered that there is a technique that you can use, Steve, where you don't actually need another person round. And we like to barrel into that one. Wild but safe.
It's because some of those two, you get pretty lonely on the road there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do, and there's the old RSI creeps in there.
Neil, if I can just change the pace for a fraction.
Please.
You've been regarded as one of Australia's premier songwriters, or composer, to use another word for that craft.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, That's the other word, yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I was only seeing an interview. Who was I seeing an interview with? It was on telly the other night.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Actually, is Michelle? Have we got Michelle? Michelle is with us still.
She's a fan, apparently.
She is. Thanks,
very
Michelle.
needed today.
And
Oh, she was just about to talk about Crowded House there.
Yeah,
You cut her off.
Yeah.
we'll come back. We will come back to Michelle. But what of the songs that you've written? Who do you look to most for your inspirations?
Ooh. Who do I look to? Well, I mean, I rely on what is presented in the old subconscious, really. I sit there in front of a page and get as vague and as distant as I can from everything, and I just wait for the first line that pops onto the page. And then I look at it and I figure out what it means, and I take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's, you know, that's the truth, actually. It's not, I'm not jesting you.
But you start with the lyrics.
I start with usually a tune, but I've got a tune in my mind and a line pops out. Sometimes it's pretty embarrassing, you know.
Yeah, like I've got RSI.
Like I've got like it's time for the 5 on 1, you know, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mrs. Hand and her 5 daughters.
Thanks,
Whatever,
thanks, guys.
Sorry, Steve, it's just a new thing for us. We're only just discovering that. We feel we've been a bit let down by our mates in the industry who didn't mention it.
We might try and get Michelle Pfeiffer back. Well, when you're writing a song, because I see you've got a song on the album Woodface, which is
right.
this album. You're sort of the George Harrison of Crowded House. He's got the one song on the album. Where do you start?
Well, I start by writing at the top of the page, written by Neil Finn. And that usually gets it in there straight away. Neil doesn't recognise it. Is this one of mine or not? By that time.
So then we learn it, you see, and then by that stage we realise it's a Paul Hester composition. We've gotten to learn it, and it gets
It's
on
too
the
late,
record.
though,
It's too late.
It's already on the album.
It's on the
Yeah.
album, you can't, you know.
Look, there's some useful tips for beginners who are getting the band together. Basically, cheat a lot. And
Yeah.
we've got to take a break. The boys have to whip out for a couple of seconds. We'll be back with more.